Hello class, as long as it is 6 o'clock, I am going to start this meeting. And what I thought I would do is go over assignment 3, which will be next week, and talk to you briefly about assignment 6 and 7. So just a few things before I get going. I wanted to talk a little bit about the discussions, and I'm hoping this scrolls down, and it does. When you're doing your discussions, and the discussions have been really good and awesome, but just a few things to remember. If you are finding yourself losing points, the discussions are graded by this rubric. This rubric is guided by Eagle Gate guidelines. So you have to include a citation and a reference in your post. Otherwise, you lose 3 points if you miss the citation and 5 points if you don't have either one. So you don't want to do that. In this area of the rubric, you are looking at answering the whole discussion question. As you progress in your nursing education, you'll find the discussion questions are a little bit more complicated. They're more layered. They might ask you to, as in last week, use the ACEs framework to make your decision. So you're making a decision, but you're putting it in a framework such as ACEs. It'd be the same thing as if you're using the nursing process. So make sure that in your discussions you are including all the information that the question asks. You're assigned questions by your last name. So make sure you're answering the right question. And also in this area, you contribute to your classmates' discussions. So remember that. Another thing is, do not put more than 20% of a quotation in, because it is not acceptable to quote more than 20%. Etiquette looks at, are you responding to your classmates civilly? And one of the biggest things is here, are you addressing them by their first name? So hello, Diane. Hello. You can call me Professor Lebanowski, whatever you're more comfortable with, but make sure you address your classmates or me by our first name. And grammar, this is a stickler. As you can see, it's pretty stiff. 1 error, 2 errors, 3 errors, and that includes spelling. So spelling mistakes can add up very quickly. So please use spell check before you post. The other thing is you have to use APA format. Everything you learned in NUR322 is a requirement after that class. And so what you want to do is make sure you have proper APA format in your citation, which includes your source, a date, and if you're using a quotation, a direct quotation, you need to add a page or paragraph number in that citation. And finally, making sure your reference is correct. If you do have some questions, I can send you examples. You can go to your Pages tab. There's a paper written there, and if you just look at format sometimes and look at how it's done, that's sometimes a good guideline. Or like if you're quoting your textbook, my suggestion is copy and paste the one from this syllabus. Some of them have been listed incorrectly. I made sure that the one in this syllabus is written correctly, so if you want to just copy and paste that one, that's fine with me. You do eventually know how to do other textbooks, but that's just an easy way to get that done. And then again, make sure you post on time, because you do lose points for not posting on time. If you do not respond to your classmates, you lose 15 points for not responding. So that's a big one. All right, the next thing I wanted to talk about is the assignment that's coming up next week. And I just need to get back up to here, and we'll go to modules, and I'll just talk a little bit about that assignment. Oops. So it's assignment 3. It's 125 points. And what you're looking at is reviewing a community, okay? A community, and that's big. identify the community that's being assessed. So you're looking at an area, a population, and general demographics. So if I'm looking at the rubric, I'm looking for these three things. I'm looking at, and maybe you live in an area located out of Salt Lake City. I know people have talked about I'm not overly familiar with the area, but like the Ridge or Provo or some area. But whatever you're doing is you're looking at a specific area and basically what's available for healthcare. So it's not really the whole state. Some students have gone on the internet and have assessed a community that way, and that works if you feel you have adequate information. I think that's just fine, but just make sure that you have all the information. So the area, the population, and the general demographics. Is it mostly made up of young people? Is it mostly made up of retired people? What does the surroundings look like? Is it white collar worker, blue collar worker? What is the community like to do? Are they out hiking? I know in your area, there's so many great outdoor things to do, camping, whatever. So tell me a little bit, paint a story of the community that you're going to assess. Then as we scroll down, you're going to discuss what is available in that community. So if it's a smaller area, you may just have a little small hospital, or maybe nothing, maybe clinics. If it's Salt Lake City, obviously you have many available units and types of facilities. So you're looking at your community, and then what is available, and then what is the level of technology in the area you are looking at. Is it current? Is it outdated? If it's a smaller town, it's possible that it isn't as up to date as possible. So you're looking at that information. Then you're talking about what's not available. If I'm in a community that's 50 miles away from possibly downtown Salt Lake City, what don't I have? Is there a burn unit? What types of ICU units? What about pediatrics? What is available? How far away do I have to go if I need something? And how am I going to get there? So that's basically looking at your community and access to better or a more updated or higher level facility. What are some of the barriers that are present to getting to the specific complex care critical care facilities? What might inhibit transition to this care? So again, could be distance, could be money, lack of knowledge, whatever it is. What are those barriers that might inhibit a person getting to the complex care area? Make sure again that you're answering both these questions. Every time we talk about something, make sure you answer the complete question. In the community you are living in or assessing, how is the public made aware of what's available for them? Are there billboard signs? Are there flyers? Is there advertisements in the newspaper? Is it on the internet? Is it on the television? How do I know where to go to get access to this treatment that is in the community you are assessing? So then you summarize your community you've assessed, describe the positive and the negatives, and make a nice summary which includes all this information. Your paper needs to be 3 to 5 pages in length, has to have a title page. Remember, title page only has to have 3 lines, and references and citations consistent with APA format. Again, if you're struggling with this, go to your Pages tab and check out the APA paper there and sort of use that as a guideline. There's other helpful hints too that you can use for that. So that paper is available, is in Module 3. Then in Module 6, and I will put up, for Module 3, I will put up an example of a paper that was done so you get an idea of what is expected. I think it's always good to see an example to get a picture of what it looks like, and I will be posting that either in the announcements or in this area here. In Module 6 and 7, you will be assigned a topic, and I will show you that. I will be assigning these in the next couple weeks, because that way then you can, if you want, you can get started on it. So in Module 6, you are going to be doing a PowerPoint, and the PowerPoint is on a complex healthcare problem. I'm not going into this right now. These are students from a past class, so please ignore the names, but these are some of the topics. And you'll be assigned this topic so that there'll be 2 people for each topic. And then you'll do that assignment, Module 6, and then in Module 7, you will keep the same topic because that just makes your life easier. You've done some of the research on that topic, so continue with that same topic, and then you will do Module 7, which is a paper that is somewhat of a care plan related to the topic that you were discussing. And I do have a short video presentation on this assignment, which I will post later on when we get closer to that assignment. So that's basically a quick overview of what is expected in this class. Every week you do have a quiz. After this first math quiz, there's usually that quiz I always go over because the answers sometimes you put them in correctly, but if you say units instead of unit or something, it marks it wrong. But after this, it's a multiple choice, multiple answer, true or false questions. So the answers you should not have a problem with getting the wrong answer. So you always have your top 3 concepts to do on Friday. You'll have a quiz, and then you have these assignments to do. This class does have a fair amount of work. Take a look at your other classes and see how you can sort of spread the work out, especially these last 2 assignments. That's why I'm going to post them early, so that if you want to get a start on it and work on it throughout this 6 weeks before you have to turn it in, that's fine. If you have any questions, please give me a call. I'm happy to talk to you. Please email me. I try to get back to you as soon as I am able. If you are not understanding something, or if you don't understand why I gave you the grade, please contact me and ask me why, give me an example, what should I do? Instead of continuing to get points marked off for doing the same thing, please let me know how I can help you. All right, I will see you in the threads, and keep up the great discussions.